Have you ever wondered why your legs seem to be getting weaker, even though you're eating regularly and walking every day? It might not be your age. It might be a vitamin you're taking every single day. A slice of white bread, a can of diet soda, a vitamin that you thought was good for your bones, but all of them could be silently weakening your legs without you even knowing it. If stairs feel steeper or standing for long makes your legs tired and shaky, then this video is for you, because the truth is, some everyday foods and too common vitamins, when consumed in excess, can slowly rob your legs of strength and mobility. After age 60, certain eating habits and overdosing on two vitamins can contribute to muscle weakness, joint pain, and sluggish, heavy legs. This video outlines 15 harmful foods and drinks, and 2 dangerous vitamins to watch out for. 1. Processed meats. Convenient, but silently eroding your leg strength. Let me tell you something I see all the time in my clinic. Many older patients, especially those who live alone or no longer cook, often tend to rely on processed meats like sausages, bacon, or ham. They're quick, easy, familiar, but here's something I wish everyone knew sooner. Those convenient choices are silently wearing down your leg muscles. Processed meats are loaded with salt and chemical preservatives like nitrates and compounds known to increase low-grade inflammation throughout the body. And if you're over 60, that inflammation doesn't stay quiet. It shows up as aching joints, sore thighs, and legs that fatigued easily after a simple walk or a flight of stairs. That's not all. These meats are also rich in saturated fats that narrow blood vessels, reducing blood and oxygen supply to your leg muscles. Imagine trying to water your garden with a clogged hose. Your muscles don't get the nourishment they need. They weaken, lose endurance, and recover slower. And don't forget, many processed meats contain hidden sugars, artificial flavors, and chemical additives that mess with glucose metabolism, making your muscles inefficient at using energy. The result? Fatigue and heaviness even after mild activity. I've seen too many older adults end up using canes or wheelchairs, not from injuries, but because their legs gradually gave out over the years, and the real cause was on their dinner plate. The good news: you can turn this around. Swap out sausage, bacon, and ham for lean chicken, boiled eggs, steamed fish, or beans. These offer clean protein to rebuild and support muscle strength. I've watched patients regain leg strength, reduce pain, and walk more confidently just from this small change. After 60, every meal is a choice between independence and decline. Choose what nourishes your legs, because strong legs are your foundation for freedom, and they deserve your love. 2. Vitamin A, a friend that becomes an enemy when taken in excess. I remember a patient named Charles, 68 years old, very meticulous about his health. One day he came to me complaining of dull leg pain, weak muscles, and frequent cramps when climbing stairs. At first he thought it was just aging, but after digging deeper into his diet and supplements, the truth came out. Charles had been taking high-dose vitamin A daily after reading that it helped improve vision and skin. Sound familiar? Vitamin A is essential. It protects vision, boosts immunity, and supports skin repair. But in excess, especially from supplements, it becomes a hidden threat, especially to your muscles and bones. After 60, our liver and kidneys become less efficient at metabolizing vitamin A. Excess amounts build up in the body rather than being flushed out. The result? Muscle pain and weakness, especially in the legs and lower back, difficulty rising from a chair, shortness of breath on stairs, night cramps, and fatigue even without much physical activity. This condition is called hypervitaminosis A. It not only causes fatigue but also blocks your body's ability to absorb calcium and magnesium, to minerals essential for muscle and bone health. And without those minerals, your risk of osteoporosis, fractures, and leg weakness increases. What's even more dangerous is that many people unknowingly get vitamin A from multiple sources: high-dose pills, multivitamins, fortified foods, animal liver, egg yolks. Bit by bit, day by day, it builds up. I often tell my patients even good things must be taken in the right amount to stay good. With vitamin A, get a blood test first and speak to a doctor before supplementing. Don't let good intentions become silent harm. The bottom line is this: after 60 you don't need more vitamins, you need the right ones, in the right amounts, at the right time. Because only when your body is in balance can your legs carry you where your heart wants to go. 3. Commercial cakes. Sweetest treat, but cruelest to your legs. After 60, I once had a patient, Linda, 72 years old. Every afternoon she'd treat herself to a small piece of cake, just for a little joy. She'd say it seemed harmless, but over time, her legs began to feel heavy. Grocery trips required rest breaks. Her knees ached, her ankles got sore, and she couldn't understand why, especially since she was still eating well. And then we looked at the cake. Today's commercial cakes are not what they used to be. They are packed with refined sugar and trans fats, what I call the hidden enemies of your legs. First, sugar. When you eat too much of it, your insulin levels spike, disrupting how your muscles use energy. That leads to fatigue, weak muscles, and heavy legs after something as simple as walking around the house. Sugar also fuels inflammation, especially in the knees, ankles, and leg muscles, causing stiffness and pain, especially in the morning now for the bad fats, trans fats, and saturated fats. These narrow your arteries, restricting blood and oxygen from reaching your muscles and joints. The result: slower recovery, weaker legs, and faster joint degeneration. Every slice of commercial cake is like a silent drain on your leg strength, though you may never notice it right away. And sadly, these cakes also contain artificial additives, colors, thickeners, preservatives. These worsen chronic inflammation, taxing your liver, kidneys, nervous system, and yes, your movement, too. I'm not saying you must give up your little joys. I'm asking you to choose them more wisely. Instead of store-bought cakes loaded with cheap oils and sugars, try baking your own with whole wheat flour, using bananas or apples for natural sweetness, and swapping butter for olive oil or almond butter. You might be surprised how much lighter your body feels, how much stronger your steps become just from this one change. After 60, every food choice is a vote for mobility or for dependence. What will you choose? For instant noodles, a fast meal, and a slow decline of your leg size? At a patient named Robert, 66 years old, living alone after his wife passed. Doc, I don't really cook anymore. Bread in the morning, instant noodles at night. Just easier. Then he started experiencing leg cramps, fatigue from standing, and breathlessness after just a few minutes of walking. Sound familiar? Instant noodles, cup soups, canned sausages. They're not just convenient foods. They're the silent soundtrack to declining leg strength after 61st. The additives: monosodium glutamate, preservatives, artificial coloring, synthetic flavorings. These chemicals trigger chronic low-grade inflammation that impacts muscles, joints, blood vessels, and motor nerves. What do you feel? Heavy legs, popping joints, unstable steps, with no obvious cause. Second, the salt. One packet can hold over half your daily sodium limit. Too much salt causes water retention, ankle swelling, high blood pressure, and reduced blood flow to your muscles. That means slower recovery, weaker performance, and legs that don't feel like yours anymore. Third, instant noodles lack fiber, protein, and the vitamins your muscles need. They're empty calories, leading to muscle loss, belly fat, and weaker support for your legs. After 60, sarcopenia, muscle wasting, happens faster if your meals lack the right nutrition. Instant noodles only speed it up. Many older Adults rely on instant noodles just to get by, but it slowly disables their mobility in return. So here's what I often recommend. If you can't cook fancy, keep it simple but real. A boiled egg, some steamed greens, a scoop of brown rice or oats, Much better than a tempting noodle cup full of hidden traps. Taking care of your legs doesn't start with exercise, it starts in the kitchen. Every time you choose whole foods over processed packets, you give your legs one more reason to move stronger and longer. 5. Strong dipping habit, flavorful meals, painful legs. I still remember Mr. Paul, 72 years old, living in California. He told me, "Doctor, I eat pretty normally. Not too much meat, no sweets, but I do love dipping sauces. Soy sauce, fish sauce, chili salt, hot sauce. Every dish tastes better with a dip." Then he asked, "Lately, my legs feel tired, slightly swollen, and climbing stairs feels heavy. Why is that?" I gently replied, "Maybe it's not because you eat too much fatty meat, but because you're dipping too much salt right into your legs. Eating salty doesn't just come from how much salt you add while cooking, it also hides in dipping habits, richly flavored sauces, and a salty palate that stuck with us since youth. After age 60, the kidneys and heart don't work as efficiently. When your body receives too much sodium salt, it can't eliminate it fast enough. The result: water retention, high blood pressure, and reduced blood circulation, especially to the legs. And what happens when your legs don't get enough blood? Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, ankles and feet swell lightly, each step feels heavier, less stable. Eating salty also leaches calcium from your bones, increasing the risk of osteoporosis, especially in the hips, thighs and knees, which bear the full weight of your body. Many patients say, "But I don't add much salt." They forget the soy sauce on the table, the habit of needing fish sauce to complete a meal, and overlook the hidden sodium in processed foods. Sadly, our taste buds get numbed over time. The saltier we eat, the more intense flavors we need to feel satisfied. The more we eat this way, the more our bodies suffer silently. So I often advise, start retraining your palate. Mild, more natural, switch to low-sodium sauces, and enhance flavor with garlic, ginger, or lime, or simply reduce the amount of dipping sauce gradually, giving your body time to adjust. Caring for your legs doesn't always need supplements or gym workouts. Just removing 1 spoonful of fish sauce a day already lifts a burden off your legs. Point 1. Overusing vitamin D without blood tests. I once met Mrs. Louise, 68 years old, a very meticulous woman when it came to her health. She took vitamins daily, ate healthily, exercised, never smoked. Yet she told me, "Doctor, recently my legs feel achy, sometimes twitch at night, and my hips and calves stiffen after long walks. I don't get it." I asked, "Are you taking vitamin D supplements?" She nodded. "Yes, I read it's good for bones, so I've been taking high doses daily for nearly 2 years now. I've never done any blood tests though, and that's the danger many people over 60 fall into, taking high-dose vitamin D long-term without periodic blood tests. Vitamin D is important. It helps absorb calcium, supports immunity, and strengthens bones. But when taken in excess over time, it doesn't just flush out, it's fat-soluble, meaning it silently builds up in the liver and fat tissue. What's the result? High calcium levels, hypercalcemia leading to muscle stiffness, pain, and reduced flexibility. Calcium deposits in soft tissues, ligaments, tendons, knees, and hips, causing pain, stiffness, and weakness in the legs. Irregular heartbeat, dehydration, kidney strain resulting in ankle swelling, cramps, and deep fatigue in limbs. Did you know that symptoms like numbness in hands and feet, getting tired quickly when walking, thigh or calf, stiffness when climbing stairs, may not be from a lack of vitamin D, but from too much vitamin D over time? I always emphasize, No vitamin is good if taken the wrong way, and there's no such thing as a universally safe dose without monitoring. Vitamin D should be monitored with regular blood tests at least every 6 months if you're taking high doses, especially for older adults whose kidneys and livers aren't as strong as before, making it harder to eliminate the excess. I usually tell patients, before adding anything new to your daily routine, check whether your body needs it or already has too much. Smarter supplementation is better than excessive supplementation. For your legs, too much of a vitamin can sometimes be more dangerous than not enough. Keeping your legs strong is not just about adding more but knowing when to pause. 2. Processed cheese. Convenient but draining. One morning at the clinic, I met Mr. Ronald, 72 years old, very careful with his diet. He proudly said, "I don't eat sweets, don't drink soda, no fried foods. But I do enjoy a morning sandwich with a few slices of convenient cheese, the pre-packaged kind." Doctor, I looked at his test results and asked, "Do your legs feel tired or your steps feel heavy, especially after sitting for a while?" He was surprised. "Yes, exactly. I thought it was just age." Not necessarily. Processed cheese like sliced cheese, string cheese or cheese spreads used in sandwiches often contains a lot of sodium, salt, saturated fat, and artificial additives. Why does it affect your legs? Excess sodium causes water retention, leading to leg swelling, ankle puffiness, and heavy sluggish movement. The unhealthy fats narrow blood vessels, reducing circulation to leg muscles, causing fatigue and weakness. Additives like phosphate can disrupt calcium absorption, directly impacting bones and muscle contractions. I once reviewed a study showing a diet high in processed cheese is linked to muscle loss, sarcopenia, in older adults, especially in the legs. Moreover, these cheeses are low in quality protein, while seniors desperately need protein to maintain leg muscle strength, which helps us stand, climb stairs, and walk without falling. You may not realize it, but after months of eating convenient foods like this, your legs feel weaker, more tired, less enduring. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your muscles are being starved and slowly poisoned. I'm not saying you must give up cheese completely, but I do recommend choose less processed cheeses like ricotta, cottage cheese, goat cheese, or naturally fermented varieties. Pair with fiber-rich foods, leafy greens, lean protein, and drink enough water to offset sodium's effects. Convenient doesn't always mean good. Readily available doesn't always mean healthy. When you choose wisely, even one slice of cheese can support your health rather than make your legs buckle with every step. 3. Refined white bread. Lacking in fiber and protein. I once asked a patient, "What do you eat for breakfast?" He answered, "White sandwich bread with a slice of cheese or some peanut butter. It's fast and tasty." I nodded and smiled, but inside, I was worried, not because of the bread itself, but because of the refined white bread so many people eat every morning. You see, it's soft, white, easy to eat. But unfortunately, white bread has had its wheat bran and germ removed, where most of the fiber, B vitamins, and minerals for muscles and bones are found. This causes blood sugar to spike after eating, then crash, leading to fatigue, energy dips, and shaky limbs. More importantly, it contains very little quality protein, something your leg muscles desperately need to stay strong and stable. So if you notice still feeling tired after breakfast, legs feel exhausted after just a short walk, difficulty standing after sitting for long periods, your energy source might be empty calories. You feel full, but your body doesn't have what it needs to maintain muscle. One more concern: eating white bread daily increases insulin resistance, making it harder for muscles to absorb energy and accelerating muscle loss. Sarcopenia, a major fear after age 60. I often advise my patients, switch to whole grain bread, oat bread, rye bread, or naturally fermented sourdough. Pair with protein sources like eggs, fish, nut butter, or tofu too. Nourish your legs properly. Add a few slices of avocado or a drizzle of olive oil to boost nutrient absorption and long-lasting energy. Even one slice of bread can be medicine or a slow drain on your health if chosen poorly. Look again at your morning bread. It may not be as innocent as it seems. Sometimes, the most familiar foods are the hidden reasons your strength fades with age. 4. Fried food. The crispy trap silently draining the strength from your legs. I remember a routine checkup with a woman in her 70s. She shared with me, "Doctor, lately my legs feel heavy. I get tired just standing for a while. After a few steps, my calves tense up like stone." I asked, "What did you have for lunch today?" She smiled gently, "Just a bit of fried chicken and some fries." "It's just once in a while, right, Doctor?" I didn't blame. I understood. That crispy crunch, the delicious aroma. Fried food is a temptation hard to resist. But when once in a while becomes frequent, it's one of the quickest roads to weak legs, aching joints, and a sluggish body. Here's why. Deep-fried foods are loaded with saturated fats and trans fat substances that trigger low-grade inflammation in the body, especially in the knees, ankles, and calves, areas that bear the body's full weight. Chronic inflammation leads to joint pain and poor muscle recovery, making your legs feel heavy, unstable, and easily fatigued. Fried foods also impair blood circulation, meaning your muscles don't get enough oxygen and nutrients. And when leg muscles aren't nourished, weakness becomes inevitable. Additionally, fried food leads to weight gain. And every extra pound puts added pressure on your knees and ankles every day. Sometimes you eat a piece of fried chicken, but the price you pay is a full day of aching legs. Is it worth it? I often tell patients, if you crave crunch, try air frying with a sprinkle of garlic powder, black pepper, and herbs. It's still tasty without the damage. Instead of fries, opt for baked or steamed sweet potatoes. They're naturally sweet, stabilize blood sugar, and support muscle health. And don't forget to drink enough water after the meal to help your liver and kidneys process the excess fat. What gives you 10 minutes of pleasure could make your legs ache the whole day. And after age 60, every steady step you take is a form of freedom. If your legs feel weaker lately, don't just blame age. Look at your plate. You might find a crispy culprit hiding in plain sight. 1. Diet soda. The hidden toll of artificial sweeteners. I once met a man over 65, thin build, slow steps, always with a faint grimace on his face. He said, "I don't eat much sugar, just drink diet soda, 0 calories, no sugar." I thought that was healthy, but my legs still ache and my joints hurt. "Doctor," I looked at him and sighed. It's exactly that no sugar we need to talk about. Many believe diet soda is the smart choice. No sugar, no calories, no weight gain. But behind that artificial sweetness is a price your legs may be paying every single day. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and asulfame K affect the nervous and metabolic systems, especially in older adults whose blood sugar regulation is already less responsive. Studies show these sweeteners can disrupt gut bacteria, impairing the absorption of essential nutrients, particularly magnesium and calcium, both crucial for muscle recovery and joint flexibility. Some people experience cramps, numbness, or unexplained leg fatigue without realizing their daily diet soda may be the root cause. Relying on diet soda instead of water leads to chronic dehydration, which stiffens muscles, reduces joint mobility, and causes night cramps or balance issues. Not to mention, diet soda is often consumed with fast food, snacks, or fried items, worsening leg weakness and joint dryness. I've told patients before, diet soda doesn't help you diet, it quietly weakens you. Replace diet soda with infused water, add lemon slices, mint, or ginger for freshness and circulation support. Occasionally, satisfy your sweet tooth with fresh fruits or natural juice without added sugar. After age 60, Every drink you take can be a healing tonic or a slow drip eroding your leg strength over time. You don't have to give up all life's small pleasures, but you do deserve a strong body and steady steps. That choice starts with a glass you hold in your hand each day. 2. Sugary sweets. Fueling inflammation and weight gain. I understand a candy after a meal or a soft piece of cake can bring comfort, a little joy, especially in the golden years when the simplest pleasures mean the most. But if your legs have felt more tired, weaker, or ache when walking, take a closer look at your snack shelf, because sugary sweets don't just cause weight gain, they quietly trigger inflammation throughout the body, especially in the muscles and joints of the legs. Refined sugar causes sudden insulin spikes leading to fat storage, especially in the belly and thighs and muscle tissue. Inflammation due to glucose imbalance. Chronic inflammation gradually weakens muscle fibers, causing dull or sharp pain, especially when standing for long periods, climbing stairs, or walking. I once asked a 67-year-old patient who often complained of knee pain, "Do you eat sweets daily?" He smiled. "Yes, just a few jelly candies or cookies every afternoon. That's not a big deal, right?" I gently replied. Individually, nobody accumulated daily. It becomes everything. Processed sweets lack protein, fiber, and micronutrients essential for muscle maintenance. You're consuming empty calories that increase fat but don't support your muscles, which naturally decline with age. Excess sugar also harms gut bacteria, reducing the absorption of key minerals like magnesium, calcium, and zinc, vital for strong, flexible legs. And did you know, a daily sugar habit can become mildly addictive, leading to a cycle. Tired gives eat sweets, gives sugar spike, gives energy crash, gives more fatigue, gives eat again. The solution isn't to give up sweetness entirely, but to choose smarter options. Try fresh fruits, ripe bananas, or a few raisins instead. Or if you want to treat yourself, bake with oats, chia seeds, and a hint of honey. Delicious and joint-friendly. After 60, you no longer eat just to feel full, you eat to fuel your legs, nourish your joints, and support your health. Each piece of candy you choose could be a silent brick building either a weak wall or a solid foundation for lifelong mobility. 3. Commercial ice cream loaded with sugar and saturated fat. I understand. On a hot summer afternoon, a cold ice cream cone feels like a sweet childhood memory, refreshing, indulgent, nostalgic. But if your legs feel more tired afterward, your walking pace slows, or you get night cramps, it's time to ask, is that ice cream really harmless? Industrial ice cream, especially cheap kinds, is packed with refined sugar, saturated fat, and chemical additives. I call this trio the destructive alliance against your muscles, joints, and blood vessels. 1. High sugar content. Just one small cup can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar, more than your recommended daily intake. Gives sugar spikes, insulin, triggers inflammation in large muscle groups like the thighs, calves, and hips. Result: muscles fatigue faster, to aches after movement, gradual muscle loss over time, compromising your ability to stand or walk steadily. 2. Saturated fat. Cheap ice cream often uses hydrogenated vegetable oils, cheap and shelf-stable, but they clog small blood vessels and reduce circulation to leg muscles. Gives muscles receive less oxygen, gives recovery slows, leading to soreness after walking or climbing stairs, gives legs feel heavy as lead in the morning. 3. Chemical additives, from artificial flavors to thickeners and colorants, soar silently. Promote inflammation in joints and connective tissue, weakens cartilage, causes knee pain, ankle stiffness, and weather-sensitive aches. 13. Poor sleep or insufficient deep sleep. Have you ever felt your legs getting weaker or heavier even though you haven't done anything strenuous? Some mornings, after just a few steps, your calves feel tight or your knees ache like you walked for hours. If you think age or lack of exercise is to blame, you might be overlooking a silent factor: poor quality sleep. I cared for a 68-year-old woman who complained that her legs were getting weaker and easily fatigued when climbing stairs. What stood out it was, she only slept 4 to 5 hours a night and woke frequently. When we worked on improving her sleep, getting over 7 hours, making her room quiet, relaxing before bed, after just 3 weeks, her heavy legs and knee aches significantly decreased. Why does poor sleep weaken your legs? Lack of sleep lowers growth hormone and testosterone, both vital for muscle maintenance and recovery, leading to gradual leg muscle loss. Poor sleep increases inflammation, causing joint pain and swelling, especially knees, ankles, hips. It also disrupts blood sugar, draining energy from muscles, gives you feel tired, even slightly shaky when standing. Poor circulation during sleep causes numbness, cramps, and cold feet at night. Good sleep may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful natural remedies. A deep night's sleep helps rebuild muscle cells and reduce inflammation, improve blood flow to the legs, maintain strength and stability in movement. If you're not sleeping well, start small. Go to bed at the same time every night. Even weekends, turn off screens at least an hour before bed. Drink warm milk or herbal tea before sleeping. Avoid eating too late or too heavily at dinner. Do light activity during the day, like a 50-minute afternoon walk after 60. A good night's sleep is worth more than a gym session, because that's when the body repairs, heals, and strengthens the foundation of your health, your legs, which carry you every day. 14. Milk chocolate, low in cacao, high in sugar and fat. I understand a piece of melting milk chocolate can bring a moment of comfort. For many older adults, it's a small treat at the end of the day, a reward after a meal. But what most don't realize is this: the most popular kind of chocolate, milk chocolate, is silently weakening your legs. I once asked a 70-year-old patient, "How are your legs feeling these days?" He replied, "They feel tired all the time. Just climbing a few steps feels like dragging stones." When I reviewed his eating habits, I noticed something. He had a few pieces of milk chocolate every day just for fun. Here's the issue: milk chocolate contains very little real cacao, the part that has antioxidants beneficial for blood vessels and muscles. Gives most of what you're eating is sugar, condensed milk, and saturated fat. High sugar content increases inflammation in the body, especially in joints like the knees and ankles. Gives the result: dull pain, stiffness, and reduced mobility in your legs. Sugar and unhealthy fats promote weight gain, particularly around the lower belly, putting extra strain on your legs over time. Sugar reduces insulin sensitivity, preventing energy from reaching the muscles effectively. This leads to leg fatigue, trembling, and reduced stability when standing for long periods. I'm not saying you must cut out chocolate completely, but if you want to protect your legs, choose better options. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao-rich and flavonoids that support blood circulation. Eat a small amount after meals, not on an empty stomach. Pair with cashews, walnuts, or unsweetened dried fruits. This stabilizes blood sugar and nourishes muscles. Remember, the true sweetness in life isn't in a piece of candy, it's in having the strength to walk confidently every day. Don't let a few moments of indulgence steal hours of ease and mobility from your life. 15. Canned foods high in salt and preservatives. Low in nutrition. I understand. At our age, we often just want meals to be quick, no standing over the stove, no dishes to wash. So a can of tuna, a box of stew, or a ready-made soup seems like a smart choice. But after caring for hundreds of older patients, I've seen this convenience trade-off for declining strength and flexibility in the legs. Here's why. Canned foods are often loaded with sodium to extend shelf life. That gives too much sodium causes fluid retention, leading to swollen heavy legs and difficulty walking. Excess salt raises blood pressure, putting strain on the cardiovascular system. Gives poor circulation, means your legs don't get enough oxygen to recover after activity, leading to fatigue. Preservatives, coloring agents, and other additives in canned foods trigger low-grade chronic inflammation. Gives inflammation is a silent enemy of joints, tendons, and muscles in the legs, even when they feel filling. Many canned products are nutritionally poor, lacking in protein, magnesium, potassium. Gives these are essential for maintaining muscle mass and leg flexibility. I once treated a 74-year-old woman who regularly felt her legs were heavy and swollen. She didn't eat salty food, but every day she had canned fish for lunch and instant soup for dinner. We ran blood tests and monitored her blood pressure. After just 2 weeks of switching to fresh, simple meals, she said her legs felt lighter. My practical advice: prioritize fresh or naturally frozen ingredients if using canned food. Choose low sodium and rinse with hot water before cooking. Prepare simple dishes, boiled eggs, steamed veggies, pancit chicken, and healthy. Let your meals become fuel to restore your legs, not a burden that makes walking harder each day. 16 packaged snacks and sandwich cookies high in trans fat, salt and sugar. A 67-year-old man once told me, "Lately my legs tire so easily and stairs feel like I'm climbing with ankle weights." I asked, "Do you snack in the afternoons?" He chuckled, "Just a few cookies or snacks to keep boredom away." But the truth is, those small snacks accumulate day by day, pack by pack, bite by bite, bite by bite, quietly weakening his legs. Why are packaged snacks and cookies harmful? High in trans fats, hydrogenated oils, common in sandwich cookies, fried chips, and packaged snacks. Gives trans fats harden blood vessels, reduce blood flow to the legs, causing fatigue, heaviness, and cramping. Extremely salty. A small snack pack may contain up to 20 to 30% of your daily recommended sodium. Gives high sodium, leads to water retention, swollen legs, and joint pain. Hidden refined sugars in cookies. Sweet, rich sandwich cookies are loaded with sugar. Gives sugar, causes chronic inflammation in muscles, depleting their energy and weakening legs and joints. A vicious cycle you may not notice. Snack gives more sugar. Salt and trans fat leads to inflammation, and water retention gives leg pain and weakness. Reduces physical activity, gives muscle loss. Less muscle gives harder to walk, more risk of falls. Eventually gives loss of independence. Realistic solutions: swap industrial snacks for unsalted nuts, low sugar, dried fruit, or roasted pumpkin seeds. Replace cookies with homemade oat bars. Ripe bananas with nut butter. Read labels carefully. Avoid hydrogenated fat and trans fat. Strong legs don't come from just exercise. They start with the small choices you make today, even if it's just about your afternoon snack. 17. Convenient seasonings: bouillon, soup powder, MSG. I had a 63-year-old patient, a very diligent cook. She told me, "Doctor, I cook every day, never eat out. I always season with bouillon or soup powder. It's quick and flavorful." I smiled and asked gently, "Have you been feeling leg fatigue, joint pain, or stiffness recently?" She paused, then nodded. I wasn't surprised. What few people realize is that these super convenient seasonings are often quietly exhausting our legs. Why a fast, strong, convenient seasonings a hidden threat? Excessive sodium content. Bouillon, soup powder, and flavoring granules often contain 2 to 3 times more sodium than regular salt. Causes water retention, swollen legs, and stiff movement in older adults. High in MSG, monosodium glutamate. Enhances flavor but may affect neuromuscular health with long-term use. Sensitive individuals may feel dizziness, muscle fatigue, tingling in limbs, or radiating leg aches. Synthetic flavor enhancers and preservatives. Many seasoning powders contain artificial meat flavors, dyes and gives triggers ongoing inflammation in muscles and joints, slowing down recovery, especially after age 60. Prolonged use can cause electrolyte imbalance, gives night cramps, reduced calcium and magnesium absorption, gives weaker bones and muscle cramps, fatigue and muscle weakness even without physical exertion. What can you do instead? Cook with natural ingredients. Bone broth, fresh garlic, onion, ginger. Use iodized salt with pepper, turmeric, and herbs instead of bouillon. Limit MSG and commercial seasoning powder, especially at dinner after age 60. Everything we put into our bodies deserves thoughtful consideration, not because we're weak, but because we aim to stay strong for longer. And our legs, the foundation of our independence, deserve that care. Even in the smallest spoonfuls of seasoning, alcohol, and alcoholic beverages cause dehydration and impair mineral absorption. 14. I once asked a 67-year-old male patient, "Do you still drink alcohol?" He laughed and said, "Of course, doctor. Just a few small glasses each night. I sleep so well afterward." But then he added, "Lately my legs feel tired, my knees ache, and I wake up feeling like I'm made of stone. I can barely walk." That's not a coincidence. Even small amounts of alcohol consumed daily can silently drain the strength from your legs. Why does alcohol weaken your muscles? It causes dehydration. Alcohol is a diuretic. It makes the body lose fluids without you noticing. Gives dehydrated muscles become stiff, prone to cramps, and painful, especially in the calves and feet. It reduces the absorption of essential minerals. Frequent alcohol consumption lowers the body's ability to absorb calcium, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D nutrients critical for bone and muscle health. This results in weaker muscles, brittle bones, poor balance, and a higher risk of falling. It slows muscle recovery after age 60. The body needs more time to recover from physical activity. Alcohol reduces muscle protein synthesis, leading to muscle loss and slackness. Gives you feel fatigued climbing stairs and find it harder to stand up after sitting. A clear warning sign. The silent cycle. Alcohol gives mineral loss, gives weak muscles, gives less movement, gives weight gain, gives joint pain, gives more drinking to unwind. A vicious cycle that's hard to escape unless you recognize the root cause. If you want to keep your legs strong, cut back on alcohol, especially at night. If you do drink, rehydrate with water or electrolyte-rich fluids afterward. Increase calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D from natural sources, leafy greens, salmon, almonds. Stay lightly active every day to help muscles recover and stay strong. Not here to ban alcohol, but I do believe in telling the truth, because I've seen far too many people who thought they were just enjoying a few drinks, but eventually lost the independence of their legs. A single glass today, if you're not mindful, could lead to a walking cane tomorrow, or worse, a fall you never fully recover from. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel. Conclusion: we can't stop time, but we can choose how we age. Every food, every pill, every glass you drink is a choice. The right choices help you stay steady, proactive, and free. Start today, because your legs deserve to stay strong for the journey ahead.